World Hemophilia Day is observed annually on April 17. The theme of World Hemophilia Day the Get Plus Involved. Next, Vishwanathan Anand is the new ambassador for World Wildlife Fund India's Environment Education Program. Next, RBI cancelled the license of the Mapusa Urban Cooperative Bank of Goa. Next, पोस्ट इंटेंसिव केयर सिंड्रोम क्या होता है? After leaving the ICU, many patients may suffer from what is known as post intensive care syndrome, which can happen to any person who has been in the ICU. It is recommended that to avoid post intensive care syndrome, patients' use of deep sedation is limited and early mobility is encouraged. Patients should be given the lowest dose of pain medications when possible. Next, International Monetary and Financial Committee. The IMFC has 24 members drawn from the pool of 187 governors. The IMFC meets twice a year. Next, what nation can learn from Kerala in the fight against COVID 19? The single most important factor that enable Kerala to be prepared for the COVID is the strength of the public health system. Next, what is special drawing rights SDR? India is not supporting a general allocation of new special drawing rights by the International Monetary Fund because it feels it might not effective in easing COVID-19 driven financial pressures. Such a major liquidity injection could produce potentially costly side effects if countries used the fund for extraneous purposes. The SDR is an international reserve asset created by the IMF in 1969 to supplement its member countries' official reserves. The value of the SDR is based on a basket of five currencies. ये पांच करेंसी है US डॉलर, यूरो, चाइनीज रेनमिनबी, जापानीज येन and British pound sterling. The SDR basket is reviewed every 5 years or earlier if warranted. The SDR serves as the unit of account of the IMF and some other international organization. Next, 18th April is celebrated worldwide as World Heritage Day. The theme of the World Heritage Day 2023 shared culture, shared heritage and shared responsibility. There are total 38 heritage sites in India. India ranks 6th in the largest number of heritage sites in the world. Next, how the RBI is handling the great lockdown. RBI has so far made two rounds of policy announcement. In the first round, the RBI mainly announced cut the repo rate and the reverse repo rate started targeted long-term repo operations. In the second round, the RBI has cut the reverse repo rate further by 25 basis points. The reverse repo rate now stands at 3.75%, while the repo rate is 4.40%. Announced another targeted long-term repo operation of rupees 50,000 crore, but this time it has mandated that 50% of this amount borrowed by the banks must go to small and mid-sized non-banking financial companies and microfinance institutions to ensure that loans given to real estate projects that are getting delayed due to the crisis do not turn into NPAs. The RBI provided an extension of another year before they are recognized as NPAs. It allowed scheduled commercial banks to reduce their liquidity coverage ratio from 100% to 80%. Next, ways and means advances. RBI has announced 60% increase in the ways and means advances limit of state government over and above the level as on March 31. Next, Kishan Rath mobile app. Union Agriculture Ministry has launched Kisan Rath mobile app to facilitate the transportation of food grains and perishable during lockdown. This mobile application is developed by the National Informatics Center. Next, Fei Fei to be the mascot for Hangzhou 2022 Asian Para Games. Next, TVS Motor Company has announced the acquisition of Britain's iconic sporting motorcycle Norton.